With Saint Cecilia's story complete, the company resumes its journey until two men catch up to them. One is dressed in black with a white gown underneath a cannon, and his horse is sweating heavily, as if it had travelled 3 miles. The cannon's yeoman's horse is similarly exhausted. The canon greets the group warmly, explaining that he had hoped to join them, and his yeoman is equally courteous. The host asks if the canon can tell a tale, and his yeoman responds that the canon knows plenty about mirth and jollity. He adds that if the host knew the canon as well as he does, he would marvel at the canon's abilities. The yeoman describes the canon as a passing man, an outstanding man. The host guesses that his master is a clerk, but the yeoman insists that he is something greater, claiming he could pave the road to Canterbury with silver and gold. The host is astonished and asks why, if the canon is so important, he dresses so poorly. The yeoman initially seems shocked by the question, but then explains that the canon believes ostentatious dress is a vice. When asked where the canon lives, the yeoman replies that he resides in hidden places and back alleys of the suburbs. The host then inquires why the yeoman's face is discoloured. The yeoman explains that it is from spending time blowing in the fire, revealing that he and the canon often engage in illusions, borrowing money and promising profit before disappearing. While the yeoman speaks, the canon overhears and chastises him, warning him not to reveal their secrets. The host urges the yeoman to continue, and when the canon realizes he cannot silence him, he flees. Left behind, the yeoman decides to tell the company everything he knows. The narrator begins by recounting his 7 years with the canon, yet he remains no closer to understanding the canon's sliding science of alchemy, which has only made him poor. The narrator details the complex processes and equipment of alchemy, mentioning pottery and glass vessels, cucurbites, alembics, and minerals like arsenic and brimstone. He describes the 4 volatile spirits and the 7 metals, which in medieval alchemy were precursors to the periodic table. Despite all efforts, the narrator concludes, alchemy yields no profit and leads only to loss. He criticizes God for giving them hope in discovering the philosopher's stone, yet denying them success. The narrator declares alchemists to be liars, recounting the disastrous reactions of metals and the wasteful practices of his master. Even when some metal survives an explosion, the alchemist discards it and starts anew, wasting people's money. The narrator condemns alchemists as consistently wrong and deceptive, concluding that appearances are often misleading. The yeoman then tells the story of a deceitful canon, whose cunning cannot be fully described. He tricks people into foolishness, yet many seek his acquaintance, unaware of his deceit. The narrator clarifies that his tale concerns one corrupt canon and is not representative of all canons. Much like Judas was the lone traitor among the apostles. In London, a priest who sung masses for the dead was visited by the false canon, who begged for a loan of gold. The priest lent it, and 3 days later, the canon returned to repay him. The canon's timely repayment prompted a speech about the importance of keeping one's word. The canon then promised to demonstrate his mastery before leaving. The narrator criticizes the canon's deceit before addressing the pilgrims, clarifying that this canon is not his master, spot another, the canon asked the priest servant to fetch quicksilver and coals, then took a crucible and instructed the priest to add an ounce of quicksilver. The priest did so, and they placed the crucible in the fire. Unseen, the canon placed a fake coal, filled with silver filings, into the furnace. When the wax melted, the silver filings flowed into the crucible. Next, the canon requested a chalk stone, promising to create a gold ingot. He slyly inserted a metal rod into the chalk, and when he threw it into a bowl of water, the chalk dissolved, leaving the silver rod. The delighted priest witnessed another trick. The canon used a hollow stick, filled with silver filings, to make it seem as if the quicksilver had transformed into silver. Through these deceptions, the canon swindled money from his unsuspecting audience, charging exorbitant fees for his fake wisdom. By warning the priest that he would be killed as a sorcerer if caught, the canon secured even higher payments. The narrator concludes that it is easy for people to turn their gold into nothing. He cites authorities like Arnaldus of Villanova, Hermes Trismegistus, and Plato, who wrote about the philosopher's stone, ultimately asserting that God does not wish men to discover it. Therefore, it should remain undiscovered, and we should let it go.